Okay, perfect, ladies. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Humanhood series, brought to you by your hosts, Casey Riley and
Melanie Peralta.
Humanhood is a conversation devoted to humanizing your human experience and making personal development
More personal.
Dude, we are so excited
We're
for today.
stoked. Wait, hold on. This is very not great podcast etiquette, but this is real as fuck. I gotta spit my gum out.
Yeah, please take your gum out.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna leave right there right now. Don't judge me, guys. Love you.
Okay, perfect. We are so excited about today's conversation. We've been waiting for this guest because by now you guys know Melanie and I are wellness girlies through and through.
Yes.
We could talk about this stuff all day, every day. And today we have an expert in this space joining us. She is a professor turned gut and poop educator. She recently coined the name the Poop Fairy. And today we're going to be talking about all things digestion, detox, parasites, mold, constipation. Guys, if you are sitting here listening to this constipated, meaning you don't shit every single day, this episode is absolutely for you. So everyone, please help us welcome to Humanhood, Marina Ortega.
Woo! Welcome.
Welcome. We are stoked. I mean, I feel like we had a whole podcast episode before we started. Yes. So Marina, can you please formally introduce yourself? Who are you? And tell us about your two wellness companies.
My name is Marina Ortega, also known as the Poop Fairy, and I'm also the founder of Scottsdale Hydrotherapy. It's a wellness center here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm also the founder of Trust Your Gut. So we created a product line of castor oil kits, coffee enema, herbal teas. They're all USDA organic. So
That's who you are.
that's who I am.
All right. I am just so eager to know how you went from being a college professor to being the Poop Fairy.
By the way, I'm the vitamin fairy at my retreat. I literally dress up as a fairy and serve
cute.
vitamins. So I feel like we're sisters, you know?
Yes, I love it. My journey started over 30 years ago. It was when I was 20 years old. I'm now 50. And I was dealing with chronic constipation. I was a girl that would literally poop like once every 2 weeks. Now, go back 30 years ago, like nobody talked about poop. None of the doctors, none of the practitioners, nobody. So I was on this wellness journey like by myself. It was like a little secret for like 5 years. And I did a CAT scan, MRI, and I was like working 14 hours a day. I was chronically dehydrated. I was starting to get acne, depression, anxiety, and I'm not even like that. Like that's just not normal. I'm thinking like, what's happening? What's going on? And so the doctor, like one doctor said, you know what? You need to go on anxiety medicine. This is all in your head. And I thought, okay, like this is not cool, right? And I was young, I was 20, so I didn't know what to do. I tried everything. Finally, a naturopathic doctor said to me, Marina, have you ever tried a colonic? Colonic, colon hydrotherapy, it means the same thing. And I looked at her, I'm like, what is that? And I was so desperate because, again, I was pooping maybe once every 2 weeks. And I said, I'm game. I'll try it. I'm totally desperate. I'll try it. And I'll never forget, I walked in, had my first colon hydrotherapy session, walked out, looked at the lady. I'm like, I just lost 7 pounds of poop in this session. What? And you've just freaking changed my life. Like, this is life changing. And I thought, oh my God, this is just highly filtered, warm, organic water. You know, like we're irrigating the colon. And that's all it is. I'm like, it was just not a quick fix, but it was a wonderful wellness tool that changed my life.
I can relate to that. So I was one of those girls who wouldn't poop at all. I would poop probably once a week. Yep. And you feel like shit.
Yeah.
You feel absolutely horrible. So I have no doubt that after losing 7 pounds of waste, your mind just completely lifted.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, think about it. I mean, 7 pounds, like that's a lot. Like it's auto intoxication. So you just start absorbing the same thing like day 1, day 2, day 7 goes by. Like I'm eating 3 meals a day, right?
Right.
And so like you're just reabsorbing all that and you become highly, highly toxic. So now your body's trying to purge, hence the acne and things like that. It's trying to come out of your skin, your face. And bad things start happening, right? Like bad fungus and bad bacteria they're thriving. They love that environment. And so, yeah, it changed my life.
Okay, so it changed your life, but how did you become so involved that now you have a wellness center?
That's a really good question. So my colon hydrotherapy lady actually retired. And I was devastated. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know how that is.
What am I going to do without you kind of thing? And she said, why don't you get into the industry? And I thought, oh, I didn't even really think about that. And then I really sat there and thought hard about that. And I thought, wow, I was that girl, like nobody could help me. No one wanted to talk about poop. And I'm struggling with these issues. And this lady has changed my life. And I thought, you know what? I had this opportunity in my life really to go, you know what? I'm going to give back. I had a very successful career. I was burnt out, working way too much. And I thought my health is much more important. And I really leaned into health and wellness and how can I help others that are dealing with constipation. Like I am here to talk about poop. Like this is a very safe space. Like let's do it. And so it was in 2014 when we opened up Scottsdale Hydrotherapy. And then in 2021, we expanded and added different like ozone sauna. We've got lymphatic drainage. We added some different therapies, I guess you could say. So, and now we're expanding again.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about poop and constipation because it is such a taboo topic. But as I mentioned earlier, I guarantee most of our listeners are constipated right now.
Yes.
I think we all were at one point. So can you just share more? What is constipation? What does that actually mean? And what happens when we're not going regularly?
So there's 365 million Americans. We've got 110 million Americans that are dealing with constipation. That's 1 out of every 3. So it's significant, right? Like people, like it's like the silent epidemic that no one's talking about. People walking around just constipated, thinking it's normal to poop once every 3 days, once every other day. What's happening? Constipation is basically you're not pooping. So now you're eating your 3 meals a day, basically, and you're just getting, it's like a septic tank, just getting backed up, backed up, backed up. Your large intestine is 6 feet long. So you can hold 5 pounds per foot. So you can hold up to about 32 pounds of poop in your large intestine. Like that's no joke. So much so it'll start reshaping your colon and then bad things start to happen. So constipation is merely just, I'm not pooping.
So, okay, another thing too is I think there's also a lot of shame around
Yes.
talking about this because then in my mind, like so much of my programming growing up is like girls don't fart, girls don't poop, we don't talk about that. So I think that's another thing too is like getting it out of the concept of being a lady or anything. Like you're a human, bro. You need to be pooping. And I think another issue is we are so ignorant to the true functionality of our insides. Totally. Like we can't even imagine what it visually looks like. When you were saying 7 pounds, someone's like, what does that look like inside of the body? We can't see it. Right. We don't even have the visualization for what 7 pounds of stuck poop actually looks like. So I think it's really, really important for people to even do more research when it comes to physiology and anatomy to just be even seeing how your insides work and what it actually does look like when it's stuck. Because what are some of the biggest symptoms that people experience when they have 7 pounds or more of poop sitting in their bodies? Like I know acne is one of them, but what are some of the other ones?
From like you can get brain fog, just feel really sluggish. Bloating starts happening. Like it just starts multiplying. Acne starts happening. Autoimmune start happening, right? Like bad things start happening if you're not pooping. I mean, a study just came out. I think out of every 4 people, 3 people are dealing with, I call it the foreign toilet syndrome, going back to shame, like what you were saying. So if it's a foreign toilet, I can't go poop. Like I can only poop in my toilet. Like I had a girl that
I'm
came
like that. I'm like that.
I call it the foreign
Oh
toilet
my
syndrome.
God, that's so great.
No, I'm like
I know
that.
a lot of men who are like that too, though, actually.
So I go to San Diego every year for a week and I schedule a colonic midweek while I'm there because I know I can't poop at the hotel.
Yes. We just had a girl come in and she was on vacation with her boyfriend for 14 days and she came in to see me and she's like, I haven't pooped in 14 days. I'm like, what is going on? She's like, I was so embarrassed to poop. I didn't want to poop in the toilet. I'm like, didn't anyone ever tell you like go down and get a coffee and like use the bathroom in the hotel? You know, she's like, I didn't even think about that. And I'm thinking, oh, God bless her, you know? So, I mean, it's real. Like I you know, growing up as a little girl, it was like one of those things on, we don't talk about poop. You don't poop at school. Nowadays, kids are like, they're at school for 8 to 10 hours and they're kind of told not to poop from what I'm hearing. I'm thinking, this is blowing my mind. But going back 30 years ago, like when I was little, I was like, wow, I never pooped at school. You know, thinking about it, I'm like, I never pooped at school. I was too embarrassed to. I was ashamed to. I didn't want it to smell. I didn't want people to hear me, you know, hear it, you know?
Or pooping at the office.
Forget
I would
about it,
never. Because then someone walks in and they're in the stall next to you and you're like, you tighten up.
Yeah.
You literally hold it back in.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so at your clinic, you are a ride or die for colonics. Obviously, that's the thing that changed your life. I feel like half the population has no idea what a colonic is, and they're almost scared when they do hear what it is. So elaborate on what a colonic is.
So a colonic is simply irrigating the colon. So we're taking highly filtered water basically, and we have equipment. It's called the Angel Water. It's an open water system basically. It's almost like a glorified reclined toilet is what it is. And I think there's a lot of fear behind, oh my gosh, I have to put a rectal nozzle up my butt, right? And so people are like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Well, I think if they really understood, when you come into our facility, we're going to teach you, we're going to educate you. First of all, there's only one way to insert into your rectum, right? The rectal nozzle is probably like the size of number 2 pencil. But what you will do is insert the rectal nozzle, will come back in, turn the water on. So it's highly filtered water, warm water going into your rectum basically. And it's breaking your poop over time, gets bolder, clay-like, hard, like dehydrated. So the only thing we're doing is taking warm water and just filtering it into the large intestine, right? And we're just kind of wetting everything down, softening stuff, and then boom, you just start kind of unloading and eliminating poop basically. And it's a very clean process. There's no smell. There's a lot of privacy. It's just, it's a beautiful thing, really.
And from my experience, because my best friend had been trying to get me to do one for like 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so not down. Like I was like, maybe one of these days. But then when I went and got my first one, the people who work in that field, they do such an amazing job at making you feel so comfortable. Like to them, it's so normal. There's no shame. There's nothing weird. There's nothing gross. It's like the most comfortable, safest space. So even shout out to the people who are in that industry, who are dealing with poop all day and normalizing these things. Because if you're one of these people who's listening and you know you need to do this, but you're afraid to go to one of the facilities, just know that all the places I've ever been, everybody's just like, this is totally normal. It's totally safe. It's totally fine. There's nothing weird about this. If you need to fart, if you need to do you need me to put it in there for you? Sure. Like whatever it is, it's very, very comfortable.
Yeah, my woman who does my colonics, because I do prefer having the hydrotherapist in there with me. And she's so sweet. She's this older woman, and she's like rubbing my stomach and my foot. And she's like, look at what's coming out.
Oh, that's
look
great.
at the yellow stuff. Look at the poop.
Yeah. I mean, it tells a story. It really does.
It tells a story because sometimes you can see what in the tube.
I mean, you can see parasites sometimes. You can see candida. You can see heavy yeast. I mean, you can see undigested food.
Yeah.
It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I remember one time I was laying there and everything was coming out, and then just this rush of yellow came out, and she said that was bile, like a bile dump.
Liver, gallbladder, could be, yeah.
Okay, so I remember the shift for me as I was just getting older. I remember being able to just poop multiple times a day, easily, no smell, just like I remember when pooping was just the most easiest, seamless thing that I never even had to think about. And then it got to a point in my life where that started to shift. Yeah. Do you notice a pattern in like age, or like maybe after women have children, or do you notice any patterns in when that shift starts to happen for people? Because obviously, like when we're kids or when we're teenagers, we're not dealing with these things.
Right.
It's when we start to get older is when we have a hard time pooping. So is there anything that you've seen throughout the years that's kind of some common themes that are leading to constipation?
I think there's a lot of things, and I think that's a really great question. So, everybody is different, right? Everyone's different. Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has a different story. So, it depends. We're talking to people on the daily, every single day in our clinic, and what I find is I became constipated because I was on antibiotics, or I was on antibiotics for a year or 6 months. This shifted. I just got into perimenopause. I just entered menopause, or I'll deal with, the 20-year-old that's saying, I'm just in a new career. I'm super stressed out. All these expectations are on me. So they're just locked up, like literally physically locked up, and they just can't let that shit go. Like they cannot poop. Right? Things start shifting. So traumatic events may happen as well. And then things just start shifting for them as well. So again, everyone's got their own story. Mine was definitely due to stress.
Yeah.
I was eating healthy. I was eating clean. I was working out, but I was working 14 hours a day. My hair was falling out. I was dehydrated. So all of those things started to play, in my role when I became constipated, for sure. There's no doubt about it. I was on birth control. Did that play a role? Yeah, absolutely. So...
It absolutely disrupts the gut entirely. And the stress thing too. So I remember I was going through a season of serious constipation. This was like, I don't know, maybe a couple, 2.5 years ago or something. To the point where like I did go to an integrative health specialist because it was getting so bad. And she was just asking me about my stress levels. And she was telling me that it mostly women are more affected by stress when it comes to gut health and constipation. Is that true? And are men not as affected as much because we are more of the hormonal beings? Or is there a difference between the female and the man experience?
I mean, I would agree with that because, you know, we do deal with so many different hormonal issues and things like that, especially when you're entering perimenopause. And I'm in menopause right now, and so my whole entire body has shifted. But what I will say is this, that you know, a lot of people think, oh, just women get colonics. Well, one of the leading cancers out there in men is what? Colon cancer. So we have a ton of professional athletes that are just starting to jump on board and really get educated about colon hydrotherapy. Men in general, right? We have husband and wives coming in. It's like this little date thing that they do. They'll come in and get a colonic together. But I'm being serious about it, though. It's like, why should we clean out our colon, but not like our husband or a boyfriend or something? You know what I mean?
Right.
So once we start to unload stuff and start to open up and create space, you really start to find that you're absorbing your nutrients at a much higher level, right?
Yes.
I'm noticing when people are backed up, they're absorbing like this much. After the colonic, maybe a few sessions, they start absorbing that much, you know, so much more, right? And they just look like more alive, right? So yeah, men should get colonics for sure.
My husband, I got him to get 3.
You did?
Yes.
This is very exciting.
He was like so against it. Then I think it's the putting something up your butt.
No, it is. It's the idea of like, that's gay or whatever. Like, that's what it is. There's so much resistance to that, but we've got to, like, we have to be able to set aside sexuality from when it comes to the anus, okay? Like, there's a lot of
Function.
Yes. And so we have to, like, get rid of that and really just look at it again as the human physiology.
Definitely.
Get the sexuality out of it. That's not what this is about.
Definitely.
Well, when I first got mine, honestly, that's what I was kind of scared about too, like putting something up my butt. And now my lady just does it. She's like, roll over, flip over, we're done.
Yeah. It's like nothing.
It isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, you talked a little bit about the people who come in. Can you share more? Like, who's the typical person you see, and who is it only for someone who's constipated, or who can benefit from this stuff?
I think that a lot of people think, oh, you have to be constipated in order to get a colonic, or don't do it at all. And I feel like we see all walks of life, right? We see the stay-at-home moms, we see men, we see athletes, we see it all. So I think colonics are for everyone. You do have to be 18 years or older to get colon hydrotherapy. But I mean, there's many different people that come to us for many different reasons when it comes to colon hydrotherapy. A lot of people are coming to us for longevity, anti-aging, right? So very, very healthy people get colonics.
It says as upkeep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's like maintenance.
Yes. At this point, I get them like probably 3 times a year.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely maintenance.
Yes.
I tell people, I'm like, the way that we take care of our vehicles, our cars, is the same exact approach that we should be taking with our body, and even more.
Absolutely.
And even more significant. I'm like, you get your oil changes, right?
That's right.
Like when people are like, oh, I don't want to detox, or I don't want to do these things, I'm like, why would you not do that with the vehicle of your life?
That's
like
right.
This is the vessel that carries your soul. Why would you not give it a detox? Why would you not give it a good flush every now and then? It's like, it's just a perspective shift. And honestly, like, I think it really just is a societal thing entirely, because we've talked about this plenty of times. We're not raised with the education from a young age on just the basics of human anatomy, basic physiology. These are the main organs. This is how your gut and your brain are connected. Like the things that we learn I feel like we should be learning these things fundamentally from like in elementary school.
Absolutely.
Just the fundamentals of living in a human vessel. And because we don't know that, then we just think these things are invincible or something. Like we can do anything to them and it's fine. We can eat whatever because our grandparents ate it, our parents ate it, and that's fine. And we just, again, we don't know what it's doing to our insides because we legitimately can't see it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is insane. I mean, people, we need to start normalizing and talking about bathroom habits. We really do. And pooping, especially at a young age.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I have a client, she gives her little son a little sticker or, a little treat now when he poops and stuff like that. They're talking about it. Did you poop at school today? Like really having conversations around poop, because why wouldn't we not, right? Because back in the day, like nobody talked about it. Again, it was that shame thing, right? Especially for a female, I feel like.
Yeah. I have an 11-year-old son. And he has done the cleanse with me.
Good.
Yes, he's done it with me 3 times now. I say 2.5 because one of the cleanses was not, we didn't make it to 30 days. But a part of that and everything that I tell everybody who has interest in cleansing with their kids, I'm like, stay in direct communication with them about what their body is going through. So even, especially when he's on the cleanse, but even outside of the cleanse, I'll ask him, I'm like, how are your poops? When's the last time you pooped? Yeah. And because he's a boy, every now and then it's like there's just this season of when they're not flushing the toilet, when they just go and they just leave it because they just got their mind on other things apparently.
You're like, why?
Yes, but it was so funny because I just had this thought in my mind one day. I'm like, you're a real wellness mama when you go into the bathroom and your kid didn't flush the toilet and you're like, hey, you need to flush the toilet, but then you look in and you're like, but that's a good poop. I'm actually satisfied. It's probably a good thing you left that in there so that I could check it out, know?
Yeah.
But having that conversation is, if I wouldn't have never came into the cleansing world and parasite cleansing in general and just learned about all of these things, I wouldn't be having those conversations. Nobody ever asked me about my poop as a kid. Nobody cared.
That's right.
And I'm very invested in my son's poop.
You should be. More parents should be.
Yes. Their own and their families and their children.
Exactly.
Yeah, because then it teaches him there's been times when it wasn't a good poop and he left it and I was like, oh, what's going on? Yeah. And then I asked him, I'm like, hey, you left your poop in the toilet and I saw it and it was not a healthy one. Like, what did you eat? Because he has a 2-parent household. He goes to his dad's house. So I'm like, what were you eating? What were you doing? And he's like, oh, well, I ate this. And I'm like, okay, well, now your body does not respond well to that. So if you don't want to have a hard poop like that, then you shouldn't be putting these types of things in your body. I always tell him, like, you are responsible for what you allow into your body and into your mind. So if you don't want to be having diarrhea like that, then maybe you shouldn't eat those talky pickles that you had,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really important. And I think that sometimes with our kids, like we kind of like we just baby them a little too much, especially with the boys. I'm Latina, especially Latina culture. We're like, just give your kid just give them what they want, just keep them happy. Yeah. But then you see how their bodies are responding to that, and then you do have to adjust accordingly.
Yeah, so true.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's transition because pooping is just one form of detox and only one modality that you offer at your wellness center. So let's talk about detoxing in general and cleansing and the modalities that you have at Scottsdale Hydrotherapy, because we went.
Oh my God, it was
some
amazing.
Incredible lymphatic drainage treatments, and the Hocket sauna and black stuff came out of our bodies, and we need to know. And we were like, we're so clean, like we cleanse and we detox, and we're like, oh, what is this black stuff?
This?
So what was the black stuff?
It was probably toxins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe it. It was probably toxins.
Yeah.
That's typically what we find.
Yeah.
What I find is, and what I have found over, being a colon hydrotherapist for decades now, my team and I have performed over 30,000 colonics. What I noticed was that people were coming in and I would talk to them about, what's going on? What are you doing? Tell me about your lifestyle prior to getting a colonic. And they would say, well, I haven't pooped in a week and I'm doing a parasite cleanse. Or, I haven't pooped in a week and I'm on this or that cleanse. And I really want people to understand that you need to open up your drainage pathways before you do any detox. Yes. And I think it's really in reverse. Like people just don't know. Like the gal looked at me, she's like, no one ever told me this. And I'm thinking, yeah, because people aren't talking about it enough. So you'll constantly hear me talking about opening up your detox pathways. Like I think our body can naturally detoxify. It's very resilient. It's beautiful. But sometimes it needs a little bit of a nudge, But if you haven't pooped in 3 days to 5 days to 7 days, don't even waste your money on getting a cleanse. They're expensive. You're just going to waste that money. Wait until you're peeing peeing, pooping, and sweating before you do any type of detox or any type of cleanse. That's like the number one rule, right?
Yeah.
So, and I just started noticing that people weren't doing that. So that's kind of how I started looking at different modalities to bring into the wellness center. And I thought we need to educate people more on this and let's bring in some other tools that I know are really, really effective when it comes to opening drainage pathways. We're truly helping people detox at more of a cellular level, more of a tissue level, because we're made up of all these cells, and you got the little powerhouse, the mitochondria in each one of them, and over time they kind of get lazy, fatty, and mucky, and it's like we need to be draining and dumping those and really taking care of them, whether it's red light therapy, whatever it is. So we brought in the Hocket, which we absolutely are obsessed with. It's the ozone sauna, and it's a 30-minute session. You'll burn 600 calories in it, but it has photon light therapy in it, has far infrared built into it. It has carbonic acid, it's ozone. So your ozone is really, really powerful. So it'll cling to anything that, like any foreign particle, basically. So, in the session, the ozone sauna session, that's 30 minutes, it's amazing what comes out of people. I mean, we'll even see it on their towel when they get up. Like there are these gray and black specks as well. So they're just draining and dumping throughout that session. So we love it. And it just complements, I think, colon hydrotherapy, in my opinion. And then we brought on the lymphatic drainage as well, and that has been an absolute game changer. Like you said, you could see the silhouette of your body with these gray and black toxins.
Yes, that's what
that's what we saw.
I was like, cute silhouette, but disgusting.
Right. And we see it on the healthiest people too.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Well, that's what I tell people. I'm like, you guys have to realize, and we talked about this in one of our most recent episodes, the world is the most toxic it's ever been.
Yes.
So even if you are a super healthy wellness girl, the air is still as polluted as it's ever been. The water's still dirtier. The food is worse. So it's like now is the time to be even more proactive.
Definitely.
And I want to circle back to what you were talking about the drainage pathways, because one thing that has been coming up a lot in the cleanse community, the people that I hear, is when you talk about opening your drainage pathways, peeing, pooping, and sweating, a lot of people do not sweat.
I know.
It's like I hear that all the time, or they're like, I don't sweat, I can't sweat.
Yep.
So then that's technically a drainage pathway.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
blocked. How do you recommend that people get going on being able to activate sweating more? I know I've heard people say like you should sit in the sauna for 20 minutes a day just to help activate that. But is there anything else that you know of that is more effective and efficient for people who do not sweat?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. I think definitely, I will encourage them to go into the infrared sauna or do the ozone sauna. But I think that things just start adding up, right? When it comes to this whole detoxing and cleansing, it's like everything is so expensive, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's cheap things that you can do at home, right? To activate your lymphatic system, like you could YouTube how to do lymphatic drainage on your face or to how to activate it throughout your body.
Yes.
Like every morning I wake up and I'm massaging and draining and dumping my face, like while I'm in bed trying to get up, right? Mm-hmm. And I watched several different videos, right? I took a class on it as well. So that helped me, and that could help someone that's not sweating. And what I'm finding is your lymphatic system, first of all, we have about 5 to 6 liters of blood. We have double of that in lymphatic fluid in our bodies. So it's like the sewer system. Think of it like rivers are flowing throughout our body, the lymphatic system. And I think that's very underrated, and we don't talk a lot about the lymphatic system. And so going back to the clients that don't sweat, I guarantee you that they have probably like a stagnant job, or they're sitting around too much. And it's like, we've got to get that fluid moving. So what's happening is you have certain lymph nodes. I call them like a little car wash area, a little filter. And so when you're doing the lymphatic drainage manually at home, walking, whatever it is, it's filtering throughout those lymph nodes, and it's trying to catch basically all the fungus and just all the bad bugs, I guess you could say, and to keep things moving. So I'm huge in regards to lymphatic drainage. I mean, if you're not sweating, YouTube something where you can manually learn how to do this on your body yourself, right? And get things moving and pumping, because it's not like the cardiovascular system. We have our heart, which creates, the pumping of our system.
Yes.
Well, the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. Mm-hmm. Going back to what you do, the somatic, breath work. I mean, that's like activating the lymph. Like that's beautiful work. It's wonderful to really get that lymph moving. It is.
From personal experience, I'm someone who would struggle to sweat.
I used to be like that too.
Yeah, and so I got a sauna at my house, and I wasn't sweating for days, and I was in there, and then eventually it just turned on. Now I get in 10 minutes and I am dripping. I'm like, they're open. Yes. Yeah.
I do hear that from clients. They do that, and they're like, Marina, you're so right. I did like 10 sessions, and everything has changed now. So,
Yes.
so you're opening it up now.
And I'm even sweating at our workout. And I
Oh, yeah.
never sweat at workouts. And I'm dripping. So it's absolutely possible. And another thing, if you don't have access to this stuff, a really hot bath.
Yes.
You'll even notice like, okay, my scalp is starting
It'll
to
start
sweat
to
a little
sweat.
bit. This is great.
Yeah. One of the things for me that was like, I didn't even know that I could sweat like this was hot yoga.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was literally dripping profusely. I could not believe it. I was one of those people who was like, I don't really sweat like that in the past. And then I remember I went to my first hot yoga class and I was just pouring sweat. I'm like, oh, the heat,
Yeah.
the movement. That was a really big game changer for me, that one.
I mean,
Yeah.
your skin's the largest organ, right? So you want to open up all these pores and get things dumping and get things flowing. So hot yoga, that's perfect. Exactly. Hot bath, that's free that they can do at home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the lymphatic treatment that we did because I've gotten a lot of lymphatic massages and different types of sessions in the past, but nothing was like the one that you guys offer. I loved the suction cups. First off, it was very relaxing, but it also felt a little bit more productive. That's the type A person in
Yeah.
me.
Same.
Because sometimes they're so gentle. I'm like,
Same.
is this doing anything?
Anything?
I know
Yeah.
that it is, but that one you just really felt it. And I was just zoning out and it was amazing. Can you share more about that and the benefits of it?
So it's like heat and vacuum suction, and we are using a glass cup. So it's not cupping because cupping is stagnant where it just kind of sticks there for a couple of minutes when you're getting a cupping session. So ours is built with like a it looks like cupping, right? The glass, and that's heat and vacuum. So what they're doing is your lymphatic system, think of it like a hose. So over time, the fat and cellulite start to kind of bow it down. So what we're doing is we're getting really into that fascia layer, the layer under our skin. It gets kind of sticky and it gets kind of stagnant. So basically they're lifting and pulling, lifting and pulling. It feels really nice. It doesn't hurt at all. No. But like you said, it's that suction which really separates it from the traditional lymphatic drainage where they're just, just kind of swiping their hands gently on your skin, which is really good for people that are really sick, I find, and things like that. But I'm with you. I'm like, I got to feel something a little bit deeper. So they'll do the whole front of your body, the back of your body as well. And what we're doing is really lifting and opening up that fascia layer to try to help things drain and dump. And that's exactly why when you're after your session, your body was draining and dumping all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into mold a little bit more because I know that you recently got exposed to it and then you used your modalities to help you heal from it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
So it was just kind of random. We were up in Flagstaff. The elevation's pretty high up there. We go up there all the time. And I was having issues breathing. And I looked at my husband, Steve, and I said, this is pretty serious. Like, I don't know what's happening. We're getting ready to meet some friends at lunch. And I'm like, I don't even know if I could sit through this lunch. He's like, whoa, what's going on? So I called my doctor at the time, and we got on a call, and he said, Marina, go get tested right away for mycoplasma. It's a really bad, it's walking pneumonia that's going on out there. It's a bad bacteria. I thought, okay, I've never heard of this. He's like, a lot of doctors are misdiagnosing mycoplasma for like asthma, or you're slightly asthmatic now, just get on an inhaler. And he goes, you have to do it through blood work. I said, all right, I'm in. Called him back. He says, Marina, I got your results and you have mycoplasma and it's very, very high. That's probably why you're having the breathing issue. I thought, okay, great. What do we do now? And so he's like, you're going on antibiotics for 21 days and a steroid for about 7 days. I thought, I haven't been on antibiotics like in 30 years. He's like, it's super hard to kill because it creates like this little gel coating around it to protect itself. So it's really hard to get rid of. I thought, okay, great. Came back down to the valley, came back down to Scottsdale, went to go see him. And he said, how's everything going? I'm like, it's getting worse. He's like, you're kidding me. I'm like, no. I'm like, now at this time, I'm like, at the tail end of the antibiotics. And he says, Marina, we've got this mold and this mycoplasma test that you pre-purchased a long time ago, and you've yet to come pick it up and take it. And I thought, all right, I'll take it. I said, what am I going to do now, though? Because I'm almost done with antibiotics. He's like, you're actually going to go back on them for another 21 days. I thought, wow, okay. I didn't know what to do. So I was like bedridden at this point. Like I would go lay down for 3 hours, get up for like 45 minutes. Like the breathing was so bad. Like I was like, just give me a freaking oxygen tank. He calls me back. He says, Marina, in my 25 years, I've never seen black mold this high in anyone. I said, okay, so where did I get it? Like, how is this happening? He says, I don't know. You have to find the source. And I think black mold is a silent epidemic that we don't talk enough about.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's like the underlying issues, at least we're seeing it in our clinic now more than ever, because they're like, oh my gosh, I did a mold test and I have it. But long story short, so I would have never known it was black mold. Come to find out, 7 months into the treatment, I realized that I got it in a very old gym in a steam room. I was steaming 4 days a week there. And so the environmental scientist I was working with said, Marina, steam rooms are notorious for black mold, so be very careful. And I looked down, I'm like, I'm never going to step foot in one again. But I don't want to scare people. Like I tell my clients, just make sure when you go into a steam room, it doesn't smell musty, make sure it's clean. If you have an in-home one, just make sure you keep up with the maintenance. So, I mean, like I was writing my living will, like it took me out. Like we could not figure out where the source was coming from. I tested the home, tested the office. We just couldn't figure it out. It wasn't until I was like, you know what? Around that time, this is exactly what I was doing. So yeah, but being bedridden for about 3.5 months was really scary. I seriously thought I was going to die. Doctors told me that treatment would be 90,000 cash, no guarantee. 50,000 cash, another one said. She said, no guarantee though. And so that's when Steve really looked at me and he said, we have a wellness center and we've created the castor oil pack, the coffee enema kits, like let's start diving into this. And so I did. I said, you're absolutely right. So I was doing the detox circuit, which was lymphatic drainage, ozone sauna, and colon hydrotherapy at least once a week. And then I was doing 4 coffee enemas a week. And probably 5 nights a week, I was doing the castor oil pack. We tested about 8 months into my journey and I kept getting better and better and better. Like I can breathe a little bit better, you know? And I will say it's all because of all the detoxing that I did. I was purging pretty fast because I checked my liver enzymes and they were through the roof, almost to the point where it was kind of scary. And I was talking to my doctor about it. He says, you're purging and detoxing so fast. Like this black mold is like coming out of your liver, right? It's the little filter's trying to keep up with it.
Right.
So anyways, along with that, I did a bunch of high doses of vitamin C, vitamin bags, because now my immune system is suppressed. The lymphatic system is suppressed. So now I have to figure out how to keep that healthy as well, right? So doing different supplements and things like that. But it was a game changer. I mean, I couldn't believe, I thought, what if we would have paid 90,000 cash or 50,000 cash, right? Like who has that type of money? You know what I mean?
And what type of treatment did they want to put you on for that amount? Was it saunas? Was it lymphatic? Or what?
Yes, it was all of that.
Was it?
All of that was incorporated. Coffee enemas were incorporated. It a lot of different vitamin like bags that I'd never heard of.
Okay.
Like even like wormwood was one of them. Just different stuff. Mistletoe was one of them. Things that are a little bit more difficult to get your hands on, right?
Okay.
So hyperbaric chamber was one of them as well, which that helped me out as well.
But overall, a lot of the things they were recommending you had at your fingertips.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it sounds like did you already have a more like naturopath integrative health specialist? Because are those the normal protocols that they would recommend in just like your average hospital?
No, I think you're absolutely right. No, I have a naturopathic doctor that
Okay, because I'm
work
like,
with.
that already sounds more progressive,
I was like-
more holistic. Because
Yeah.
I remember, I'm pretty sure it was mold when we lived in the very first apartment that me and my son moved into when he was like 2. And I remember there was a little hole in the wall. It was a little hole in the wall. And I was like, that's so weird, but whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I was in the hood at that time.
Yeah.
It was whatever. So just let the hole be. But my son developed asthma.
Yep.
And every single time he would get a cold, he was just wheezy. He couldn't breathe. It was scary. And I would have to take him to the emergency room to get breathing treatments and stuff like that. And I was just like, what the heck? What is going on? Of course, they tell us, oh, he just has asthma. It's, it's acute asthma. It gets worse when he gets sick. And I'm just like, they're like, he may or may not grow out of it, whatever.
And of course, you're thinking, okay,
Yeah.
because your doctor's telling you this. There is no prescription, there is no medication for black mold or mold in general. It's not like, here's the pill, here's the shot. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like the silent epidemic that no one's talking about. And I think we need to talk more about it and educate more people about it. There's really funky symptoms that can come about, right? Mine started off with a rash on my leg. I don't remember ever getting a rash in my life. And I'm like, Steve, I got this really weird rash on my leg. And so my body was starting to scream at that time. I didn't know I was sick at all. And then it was literally a week later when boom, my breathing, my chest, all of this started coming about. So I feel like a lot of people, like you just said with your son, like if you would have known it was a mold issue, then you could help him detox, open up his pathways, give him a binder, right?
Because back then, they were just prescribing him steroids.
Oh, yeah.
They were just prescribing him steroids. But I was like, intuitively, I was like, I don't think my son has asthma. And I was like, I think there's something coming out of that hole.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that, but being like, why do I feel like once we move out of here, he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
And he was.
See?
It eventually went away when we moved into the next place.
Yeah. I mean, we see clients that are dealing with mold exposure, so much so, like they're literally camping out in a tent in their backyard because their house is moldy. They can't afford to move. They don't know what to do. They're trying to navigate and figure out what is going to be the next game plan. But once you do get out, if you're living in mold, once you get out of it, your symptoms, I find, do start to clear up, right?
Yeah.
So
We had mold in our shower. So we got a brand new shower built, beautiful shower, and then it was faulty. So the shelf that they put in, like the little niche, started cracking. And overall, like I just knew water was getting back there. So I called them back and I said, I guarantee there's something going on behind this shower. And they're like, oh, no, it's fine. We'll just patch it up. I was like, tear this shit down. They teared it down. Girls, it was all over. And then the guy tried to like pull one over me and be like, oh yeah, it was no big deal when I went there and looked at it. We're just going to put new tiles. I was like, let me see it with my own eyes. I walked in. I was like, you were going to lie to me and tell me that there was nothing behind this wall? Tear the whole shower down and we're getting this thing remediated the right way.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane, the whole mold situation that's going out there and all the people who try to convince you that you're crazy or it's not that big of a deal. It is that big of a deal, especially if your body can't detox.
That's right.
You know, like if you have the gene that can't detox mold, or you simply are someone who can't sweat or can't poop, you're just accumulating.
What I learned on my journey with mold is that there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of not being honest going on out there.
That's it.
I mean, we were getting bids because I was preparing, like, what if it's in our house? It's going to be like, the guy would come in and be like, well, if it's in the house, it would be this amount or that amount, thousands and thousands of dollars, where I'm like, oh my gosh, so thank God it wasn't in my home. Yeah. But think about mold like this, like dust in your hand, blow it, and it's sporous. So like there could be mold in here, we just wouldn't even see it. So that's the scary thing with mold that I think people don't really realize, right? So once you open it up, it starts to spread like everywhere. So it doesn't just stay in that little contained bathroom is typically what I found out. I mean, I took it to a whole different level where we ended up having a mold dog come out.
Yes, I've seen those and they work.
Yeah. Emily has
accurate.
Emily out of Vegas, she's in the Southeast, so if anyone ever wanted her, she could come out and actually test their home with her mold dog named Baby. And it's amazing. I mean, you know, her team came out and they checked our house and our office and it was done within like 20 minutes. Now, when I had someone come test, it was like a whole process, several hours, and couldn't get the results back for weeks. And I'm thinking, I am sick. I need to figure out where this is at.
And the people are not trustworthy. I had so many mold inspectors come out and they were just lying to my face or saying it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm going to trust a dog.
Yes.
Right?
Like the dog's going to stop and sit and say, I smell something funky over here.
That's
I'm going to
right.
trust you over a human any day.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it gets really expensive. It's like this.
So expensive.
It's just it's a whole different world. Like it opened my eyes.
It is. And then you feel overwhelmed and then you get that paralysis of like,
That's
well,
right.
I can't do anything. And then you're not feeling well and just all of these things. So this was back in 2024, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you feeling now?
I felt great.
Oh, that's so good to hear. So there's hope.
Yes, I actually just retested and my levels are super, super low.
Good.
Gosh, that is amazing to hear. So for someone who's struggling with mold, what would you say like their first step would be in the healing process?
I would say if they're struggling with mold or if they can't figure out what's going on, maybe I would recommend, why wouldn't you not take a mold test? Like just take one, right? To see what's going on. I think that, you know, if you do have mold, a good place to start would be to get with a naturopath, get on a protocol, sauna, right? Infrared sauna was huge. I infrared sauna every single day. That really helped with my mold journey, as well as coffee enemas. I started detoxing my liver. The castor oil packs were pretty much daily, you know, and those are the little things that were inexpensive, like under $40 that someone could start doing today at home, right? Yes. And I'm a big believer on binder, so activated charcoal, that helped as well.
Okay, tell us more about the products you just mentioned because, yeah, some people might not be able to go to the clinic and do the circuit every week, but tell us more about what they can do at home and the products that you offer.
Yeah, so I mean, I got to thinking about it, and people were calling me like from states and even different countries, like, where can I start? How can I get some help? What do I do? I'm not in your zip code. And I will never forget when I lived in a small town, I had to drive 3.5 hours away to get a colonic because the little town didn't have a colonic place, right? And I was desperate. I hadn't pooped for like 2 weeks. So I like...
You're like, I'm getting in this car.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I am going to do that. I'm going to unload all of this stuff. And that's exactly what I did. And so at that moment I was reflecting. I thought, you know what? We're going to create, it's going to be called Trust Your Gut. And it's going to be high quality, female owned, US based. What I started to find was that the castor oil pack, what makes it really special is it's got the rinosylic acid in it. So think about it like a fatty rich compound, basically like an omega compound. So once you put the castor oil onto your belly basically, and then our castor oil pack, what I found was that many of them were synthetic and plastic. And the majority of them are coming in from overseas. And I thought, we can surely do this better, right? So ours is organic cotton, which was super important to me. And then also testing our products. So making sure that the castor oil was third-party tested. So that was really important to me. And so I created that, but it helps basically detoxify your liver and your gut as well. So it's very anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial. So I like to put the heating pad on top of the castor oil pack, wear it at night, watch a movie. It's going to start driving it down into the lymphatic tissues to create movement to help someone who's dealing with constipation or your liver or your gallbladder. It's going to start to open up those bile ducts and start dumping out that bile. So to me, it's like you're detoxing almost 3 things just with that one castor oil pack. One thing I will say is that I don't know who's using those plastic castor oil patches out there that they stick on their skin.
Yes.
Oh, I've used one of those before and it was awful.
Rashes are coming.
Yeah, my skin was like, no.
Yeah, they are very sticky.
They're so bad. Yeah, my
Think
body
about it,
was.
there's plastic in them.
Yeah, my body was like, hell no.
So anyway, so I created.
I tried one too.
Yeah, I tried one and my body
I'm
was
like having a vision.
because it was
Don't do that.
convenient, you know. So I tried it and immediately my skin was like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Don't you ever do this shit again.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I know. That's why it was important to make sure that this was organic cotton. And then we created a coffee enema kit. So coffee enema is super powerful. It's much different than traditional coffee. So it's not like you're putting it up your butt. You're not drinking it, right? So people say, I'm sensitive to coffee. And I'll say, typically, you're not drinking it, so it shouldn't affect you. So a coffee enema is really beneficial for detoxifying your liver. It'll increase your master antioxidant by 500 to 700%.
Wow.
It'll start to stimulate. It has palmitic acid in it, which makes it's like supercharged caffeine. So once it shoots through your rectum, up through the hepatic portal valve, think about it. Your liver processes your blood every 4 minutes, and we're exposed to thousands of toxins every day, right? So with the coffee enema, I like to hold mine for like 12 minutes or maybe even 14 minutes. Every 4 minutes, it's almost like dialysis. That caffeine is basically stimulating the bile ducts, opening up your bile ducts, and just dumping and driving that bile down. Think of it like a little dump truck, just trying to get that liver to open up those bile ducts to detox your liver. So there's many benefits to doing a coffee enema. I do tell people, listen, you can graduate up to that. So if you're a little nervous, start off with just doing an at-home distilled warm water enema. Try that.
Okay, serious question. You said that you hold it for like 12 minutes. What is the optimal position for this? Because how are you doing this? Like,
Okay.
are you laying on your back with your feet up
Yes.
or okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
because
exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. For real, I'm serious. Because I did, when I first started doing the coffee enemas, I was doing them wrong and I wasn't
I know.
holding the coffee in.
I know.
But then I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to hold it in for that long? And just like laying there for that long with this liquid in me, what is the optimal position for that to be easy? It sounds crazy when people hear you're holding coffee in your butt for 12 minutes. Well, what does that look like?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why we created Trust Your Gut. We really wanted to provide education. So if you go to trustyourgut.shop, you'll see me in my shower actually doing a coffee enema. And yes, you do, after holding it, you do get up and go to the bathroom, and then you'll eliminate it out as well. So a lot of people didn't know that either. They're like, oh, I didn't know I had to go to the toilet, or I thought you were pooping in your shower. And I'm thinking, whoa, okay, we need some education around this. Just like you said, like, what do I do? So if you do go there, you'll see a lot of educational videos. That was really important to me because I was like you. I had no idea, 25 years ago, like, how do I do this? What do I do? There wasn't a lot of education.
Right.
So we created that. We created some anti-parasitic tea. They're all USDA organic, a gut remedy tea. So if you're dealing with constipation, it's wonderful. Everything's third-party tested. That was super important to us. But yeah, I wanted to help people outside of our zip code be able to detox in some way, form, or fashion, or if you're dealing with constipation, to be able to get some relief.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a castor oil pack at night, right? Or in the morning, whatever it may be, for a couple hours, and then go do a distilled water enema. Then you can graduate up maybe to the coffee enema. I think it's beautiful.
What are your thoughts on it was going around on TikTok, like putting the castor oil just in your belly button overnight? Does that do anything?
That's a little bit more of a like a Ayurvedic.
Ayurveda, yeah.
Okay.
It really is. I mean, I think that's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. I'll say this, with castor oil, it does stain your clothing. So
It does.
Yeah, it stains your clothing. So be careful. That's why we made ours pretty locked and secure, the castor oil pack, to wear it. But I'm all for it. I mean, you can use it for beauty products. Like my lashes are growing out, my eyebrows, my hair. I'll do a scalp treatment with it. My nails are dry feet here in Arizona. Super beneficial from a beauty standpoint as well.
So I injured my knee. I used to be a runner years ago, and I remember I ran 6 miles. It was my highest amount, but my knee was in so much pain. And at the time, I was using castor oil packs.
Wonderful.
And I wrapped my knee on it for 2 nights straight, and the pain completely went away and never came back.
Yeah, it's very anti-inflammatory.
It was to the point where I was concerned about my knee. And so now anytime me or my husband has any type of physical joint pain, we wrap in castor oil, and it takes 1 or 2 days, and it remedies it perfectly.
Yeah, that's very, I mean, think about it, you guys. Castor oil and coffee enemas have been around since like 1500 BC. Like the Egyptians were using it. Like, so we're just bringing this wellness tool, these tools back is what we're doing it. And I just want it to be high quality and affordable for people. Because I really created the company because I was sick of all the price gouging going on out there and the greenwashing saying, oh, it's organic. Well, what do you mean organic? Like, people are just throwing that on labels and then they're hiking up the price like double or triple for what we're selling a lot of our products for. And I said, we are absolutely not going to do that. People are sick out there. People are dealing with constipation. I want to help them. For example, I told my niece, I'm like, if you just ditch 2 DoorDashes a month, you would be able to afford, the castor oil pack and the coffee enema kit, let's just say. So that was kind of my mindset. Like, I was a 20-year-old that was desperate. So I want to help, younger people as well that are dealing with constipation.
Yeah.
I think what's really important is that people understand the easy swap alternative, because right now there's a lot of teens and young women. There's just a lot of people out there in general who are spending so much money on topical facial products and stuff like that. And they're still disconnected to the truth that the issues that are going on with your skin are happening from the inside out, not the outside in. So instead of going and buying the 8-step skincare protocol, you could be buying a Trust Your Gut kit that's helping healing your gut, which then when you heal your gut, you also start to regulate your hormones and detox your body with the castor oil packs and things like that. So thank you so much for sharing this information, because this does need to get spread out there so much more. And I'm actually very glad that we're living in the era where this information is getting out there more. It is becoming more popularized. But again, I think people are still skeptical. And they think that we're just creepy weirdos who are parasite cleansing and putting coffee up our butts.
That's right.
Like they just think we're like, my family, they think I'm weird, man. They do. Like Melanie's always on these parasite cleanse. My mom's like, Melanie's always drinking green stuff and so it's like, we've really been brainwashed. Like you said, a lot of these things, these are ancient practices. These are old modalities. And we're just bringing back the ancient wisdom because humanity has lost our way.
It's not until I find that person who says we're woo-woo or something, they get sick. Then they stop and go, tell me more.
Yes.
Tell me more about this. Like, what are you doing? So I just think that, I think people are jumping more on board and people want to save money, right? Yeah. And there's so many shiny things out there in the wellness world, which is great. But sometimes like clients will come in with bags of like supplements and all the things that they're doing. And I'm like, what's working? They're like, I have no idea. Clue. I said, okay. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we just need to bring these ancient remedies back.
My piece of advice for everyone listening, if you choose to go down any of these routes, go straight to a credible source, because you might be hearing this and say, cool, I'm going to go to Amazon and order myself an enema kit or the castor oil. But do we know if it's high quality, what ingredients is in the plastic, all of the things like Marina with contamination? So just invest in the product that you know that you can trust, so that you're not wasting money or negatively impacting your health because of all the other elements to it.
Yeah, 100%. Matter of fact, when we started formulating our stuff, we tested a bunch of different things, supplements, herbal teas, coffee enema, all of that. And a lot of it was contaminated. And I thought, oh my gosh. So that's why it was very important for us to make sure it was USDA organic, because it's a very high quality, many different steps that you have to take. It's a pretty intense process, which we were happy to go through, right? Because we wanted to make sure everything was third party tested. No mold was important to me as well. We saw a lot of mold in different coffees. It was unbelievable.
Yes, that's a big one. People don't know that I just had this conversation with my boyfriend. I was trying to tell him, I was like, baby, there's a lot of mold in coffee. And he's like, he still thinks I'm crazy. So he's like, where are you getting this information? No. I'm like, it's out there. Like, there are third-party testing. There's companies out there. Like, I love Dr. Gonzalez when he goes and he tests all the companies and he'll tell you which ones are good and which ones are scams. And coffee is one of those ones where people just have no idea that it is full of mold.
So this is what you have to do. Take some of this coffee and leave it out for 2 days, like in a cup. Starts growing.
Saw it. But does that just happen with coffee?
I saw it and I was like, I can't drink that coffee ever again.
Does that happen with just coffee in general, or specifically coffee that has mold in it already?
I mean, do you have an answer? I was like, I think it's the coffee. Why would so much mold
if it wasn't already in there?
So they're washing it, they're shipping it from different countries.
Right.
How are they storing it?
Yes.
Are there cockroaches in the facility? Like, is it wet, humid? How long has it been sitting in that store? There's so many different factors from what I have read and researched when it comes to moldy coffee. And I'm now I'm a coffee snob, right? In regards to what coffee I'm drinking, as well as putting it up my butt.
Also, when I first got into the coffee enema world, I did not know that you had to have special coffee to put up your butt. And I was just using some like organic coffee that I bought at Sprout.
Oh my God.
Wait, there's a different coffee?
There's like coffee enema coffees.
What's the difference between coffee enema coffee and a high quality mold free organic coffee?
Specifically, the coffee enema that we created and that most people will create, it has a higher palmitic acid. So it's like supercharged caffeine. Okay. And like I said, the caffeine is what's going to open up the bile ducts in your liver and start to dump all that gunk, because your liver over time gets kind of fatty, mucky, and gross. Yeah. So I do the coffee enemas for liver detoxification, and it makes a huge difference. So there's definitely a difference between regular coffee or even organic coffee and then a coffee enema that's going to go up your butt. Yep.
Okay, this wrap you have wraps for everything.
Yes. So I would do it for my thyroid. I broke my toe. You can do it for all kinds. You can do it for like all kinds.
It's a castor oil wrap pack.
Yeah, so you have neck, breast,
oh my God, I need that.
No, I need it too.
I put the breast pads on my chest when I was detoxing from mold. You can open it, but it's a travel kit, so you can just shove everything in the bag. That actually lives in my suitcase, you guys.
How much is this?
It's under $40.
Shut up.
This?
Yes.
Okay, and you can wash it.
Yes.
Obviously, so you just put it in the washer.
Yep.
Do you put it in the washer by itself, though?
No, I actually like to put a little bit of dish soap, like maybe some baking soda, let it soak there maybe for a day or two.
Okay.
And then I wear my castor oil pack like 10 times.
Because castor oil's thick.
It's hard to clean.
It is.
10 times.
And then I'll end up washing it.
Okay.
So that's not bad to have the used castor oil on it over and over?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's very antimicrobial. It's, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
But people have their own theories, so I'm like, hey, stay in your lane. Whatever feels good for you, just do it.
Yeah.
You need to wash it every time, go for it. But, those are just some tips, right?
Stay in your lane. Do you, right?
Yes.
This is absolutely amazing, because I was like cutting up a cloth and putting it on my neck.
Yeah.
I was feeling all congested in my lymph nodes one winter, and I was trying to get the lymphatic system moving, and so I was wrapping my neck. But this is amazing.
Okay, I was like, I need to buy this from you like today.
Yeah, I know.
I want to go home with it.
I brought one for you.
Did you? Did you really? Oh
yes.
my God, I'm so happy.
Reordering all your things. Oh my God.
gosh.
Thank you so much. This conversation is, I would love to have you back in the future. I feel like we're going to have to keep recycling these types of conversations as we continue on, because this is very, very important for Casey and I. Like our theme here at Humanhood and one of our taglines on our merch is increasing the quality of human existence, which is why we're such health and wellness girlies. And we've really been in that like for years. It's our life, even outside of this podcast. But it's just so important for us to continue drilling in this message to the people who are listening, because we do know that for the most part, it's not new information, but it's been hidden information, or it's been silent information. It has to get more widespread. So we definitely want to come and do a colonic.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And then later down the line, probably have you back at some point. Maybe when you
Do our expansion.
oh yeah, well your expansion's in 5 weeks. Where's the new location gonna be?
We're just blowing out the next door.
Really? So it's the same spot. Okay, tell us everything. How can everyone find you? Tell us where your clinic is located, all of the goods.
So we're located in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's called Scottsdale Hydrotherapy. So if you go to scottsdalehydrotherapy.com, you will find us. Or if you want to purchase any of our Trust Your Gut goods, you can find us at trustyourgut.shop. And then, of course, you can also, if you want some more education on poop, parasites, coffee enemas, all of that, you can also find me at Marina the Poop Fairy.
Amazing. Marina the Poop Fairy.
Oh my God, you guys. By the way, Marina has the cutest little crocheted poop fairy doll sitting on the shelf at the space. Casey took a picture of it. It was so epic.
cute.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. You said your Instagram, right?
Yes, I did
Okay.
them on Instagram. And then also we have a discount code for you guys as well.
Yay! And what is that? Humanhood? Yes. Everyone, and that's for Scottsdale Hydrotherapy too?
Yes.
And Trust Your Gut?
Yes.
Okay, everyone, if you are wanting to come and try any of Marina's services or her products, use code HUMANHOOD for a nice little discount. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, ladies.
I'll be using it.
Oh yeah, me too. All right, you guys, until next time, we'll see you back. Bye. Oh, that was great.
That's so good.
Yeah, that was
Thank you
so good.
much, man.
So much info, huh, ladies?
Yes.